Yuck. I really have to move my notes out of the notebook that I use at work. This was a bad idea. It was the only paper I had at the time. So I've been running with it. Fortunately, just like one page of notes, but still. Ugh. No. The work-life balance needs to be maintained. This is a bit of a problem. It's fine though. Hello everyone. Hopefully we're doing fantastically. Why is there no BGM? Fantastically well today. Hopefully you're doing good. Hello Adaver. Hello Nucleos. Hopefully you're both doing very well. I am Melanie. And we are back today having another chill little writing stream. Oh, how I've missed it. I really enjoyed writing last week. I really enjoyed it way more than I expected I would. So we're going to continue it. We're continuing it this week. We're going to have 2 writing streams this week. 2 of them. I don't know for how long I'm going to be able to keep this up. Maybe I'll do like 1 a week, or maybe I'll just stop doing it on stream. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like. The picture comes on, and the first thing I see is linear algebra. Yes, that is the first thing that we see. That is the first thing that we see. You know what's actually quite cool? I really like, hold on. I really like how, what's it called? Obsidian, which I'm using just now. You can add a math block here. So what does this look like? What does this look like? Oh, that's so cool. Wait, can it format it? What if I do SQRT2? Yeah, it comes up as SQRT2. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Can it do expressions? Like, can it do like smaller as well? Yeah. I want to see if it can do latex stuff. How do I do that? How do I get it to do like a fraction? Like a proper fraction? Well, maybe if I do like 4 underscore whatever. Oh, okay. So I can do subscripts. I know I can do superscripts. That's fun. Oh god, this is too much fun. This is too powerful. Okay, how do I do the square root? How do I do square root? There must be a way to do square root, like proper square root. How do I do that? Oh god, now I just want to play around with this. I thought it only does markdown. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Right, okay, bear with. Is latex markdown? I haven't looked in. I have no idea. I literally know nothing. Let's see. Obsidian text editor equations. How to write mathematical notations in Obsidian. So yeah, underscore upper. Oh, you can do slash to get symbols. Oh. Backslash frac. Oh, you can use MathJax. It's all based on MathJax code, apparently. Okay. That's fun. Okay, hold on. We're learning how to put maths into Obsidian here. The mention of linear algebra is too powerful. Right, okay, so we've got the dollar signs that creates the block. I can do backslash pi, which gives me the pi symbol, which is great. That saves me having to switch over to thingamajiggy. Let's go C equals 2 backslash pi r. There we go. C equals 2 pi r. Sweet. Very nice. Oh, but can it do tau? I can do tau! Oh, this is the best. I can do tau as well. Cool. So it's tau r. Nice. Right, okay. What else can I do? volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi r raised to 3. At least I'm pretty sure that is. Right, I think I need another math block though. There we go. But if I want this to do thingamajiggy, it's math time. Yeah, this was unexpected. Sorry, it's math time. We're doing math time. Right, how do we do fractions? We need to actually say backslash frac, and then each of the numerator and denominator need to be in curly brackets, which gets us what we want. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Look at this. Look at it. It's beautiful. I could cry. Actually, I might. I'm actually so happy. Okay, right. This is fun. Why is this so much easier than using literally anything else? I'm very happy. I'm so happy. Right, okay. What else can we do? What else can we do? Ooh, you can do sum. You can do integration. Okay. So for square root, you need to do backslash sqrt. And then the number that you're going for in regular brackets. And then afterwards... Oh wait, no. The number is the root that it's being... the nth root that it's going to. You can remove it and leave it empty. Excuse me. Excuse me! That sneeze snuck up on me and my hands were too full to mute. That's fun. Let's see. So... root I equals to hello TV, and thank you Adaver. Hello, thank you. Good to see TV. Oh, I just heard one of my Digimon screaming. I heard one of my Digimon screaming. Yeah, one of my Digimons pooped. Stop pooping, please. Wait, is the other one pooped? The other one is not pooped. This is fine. Sorry, I've got Digimon toys now. Why? Why am I current age and have 2 Digimon toys? Also, thank you for the stream title change. Oh dear. I want to change it. We're just getting distracted. Wait, what's the square root of I? Pretty sure the square root of I is -1, isn't it? Yeah, because... yeah, so wait, hold on. Backslash square root of -1 equals I. That much we know. Like, that's a dead cert. Like, that is a dead cert. So if I cut you... there we go. The square root of -1 is I. Square root of I is... wait, yeah, square... squinty. Why not write out the proof for that? Yeah, I'm going about it in reverse order. Well done, Mel. Square root of -1 is I. So how about we do it as... wait. I raised to 2 is -1. This way it's much easier. I raised to 2 is -1. I equals backslash sqrt -1. Remove that. Put that down here. Yeah. So I square root of -1. I squared is -1. Then I raised to the 3 is -I, which is also negative square root of -1. And then I raised to the 4 is just loops back around the way to being 1. Believe it or not. Oh, complex numbers, how I love you. So yeah, the square root of I. Oh wait, no, I've got it wrong. The square root of I is 1. Sorry, my mistake. The square root of I is 1. Which is weird. It's a weird thing. Because, yeah, if you've got I to the 4... Wait, is that right? Hold on. Is that right? Yeah, it is, because this is a cycle. I to the 1, I to the 2, I to the 3, I to the 4. I to the 5 is I. Is that right? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to do math. Figuring out maths in Obsidian. Thank you, TV. Yeah, no, I'm just forgetting how to do maths. I'm losing viewers. This is great. Square root of I. What is the square root of I? That's what I want to know. The square root of I is, according to Foxit search, no, DuckDuckGo. What is the square root of I? Come on, Wolfram Alpha, don't let me down. Square root of I is the 4th power of the root of -1. Which is by definition 1. So what is 1? I was right. Excellent. Okay, sorry, we're doing complex mathematics here. Sorry. I'm getting a little distracted. This happens. Good old complex numbers. They're fun. Anyway, that was fun. That was nice. Okay. Let's change the title to Returned From Figuring Out Math in Obsidian. That'd be great. Thank y'all. So yeah, no, where was I before I started getting distracted about complex numbers and, you know, showing how little I remember about it. It's been a while since I've had to do complex maths. I miss complex numbers. Complex numbers are fun. So yeah, no, what we have actually been doing and what we've been wanting to do has been writing. Yes, 15 minutes later, I've been wanting to do writing. And I've been really enjoying it. We've been making a lot of progress. I really like it. I actually spent yesterday thinking up yet another writing project that I'm not gonna, like, spend as much time thinking of. Although I did spend something like 3 hours. Like 3 hours on it yesterday. Something like that. But we're not gonna do that project. No, we're gonna focus on this project. That is one just to haunt the little corners of my mind. Just something to keep me up at night and keep me distracted with. Right, where are the notes I wrote about my projects? Where are they? They're in here somewhere. I'm so prepared. Right, that's start. That's that. That's that. And here. There we go. Found it. Found the page. Found the page. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm organized. With my Digimon. I'm so not organized. It's fine. there's not actually too much that's essential here, so let's just roll with it, shall we? Right. So yes, last time, we had a nice little chat about the writing projects in general, which was very good. Introduced it a bit more to people who weren't already familiar with it. Hello, Triangle Toll. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. That time we got math. Yeah, we have math. We figured out how to do maths in this somehow, which is very fun. I love maths. Maths is the best. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy. Look at it. It's so pretty. Man, I should just dump this into my writing sometimes. I should just leave it there. Maths is the best. Good to see you though, Triangle. Hopefully you're doing good. But yeah. What we're actually doing is we're writing the story. We made a lot of progress on chapter 1 last time. I think we're like maybe 2/3 of the way through, maybe halfway. Let's see if we can actually finish off chapter 1 today. Chapter 1 today being complete would be very nice. And then maybe we can do about chapter 2, maybe chapter 3 on Saturday, when we get around to it on Saturday. But yes, turns out Obsidian, much better word processors than I ever gave credit for. It's so easy to format things in it. I love it. I adore it. It's great. So yeah, we had gotten through breaking down how chapter 1 was going to work in the first stream. And then we actually wrote like 1,000 words of chapter 1 already as well. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a shorter chapter compared to the rest of them because it's only 1,000 words long and we're maybe a little over halfway through. We'll see how it goes. Kind of related, today I listened to a job opportunity lecture. Man seriously tried to entice a bunch of aerospace engineers into fundamental math and physics and got surprised when no one understood what he was saying. Yeah, like, prime people for the subject that they're going to be investigating. Like, maths and physics is amazing, don't get me wrong. I love it. But yeah, just like don't drop people with no context or with no lead-in or respect for their existing experience into whatever subject's going on. And I realise I've just done that while talking about maths here, but still, it's fine. Where was I? Also, welcome to the Obsidian gang. Yeah, no, I mean, I've liked Obsidian for a while. I don't remember when I came across it actually. But yeah, it's been within the last like 3 years, I want to say. Something like within the last 3 years. I don't even remember when. Yeah, 3-4 years ago, something like that. Right. But yes, we're maybe halfway through. We've done our little in media res dream sequence at the start. We've had Clementine on the way to the test. And now we've got Clementine actually in the test right now. So yeah, it's going very well. My group just lost it when the man dropped, "Let's blow up vacuum and learn the ways of the world." What? Excuse me? I need more context on this. Why would you blow up vacuum? He needs to explain that a little bit better, I think, unfortunately. Yeah, what's the deal with blowing up vacuum? What the hell is he trying to say? Also, what field of physics was he talking about? Was he actually talking about how the vacuum works? Is he talking about 0-point energy? Is he talking about the expansion of space? Or is he just talking about physics in general? Sounds like physics in general, he's just a bit too excited. Relatable, to be entirely honest. Knee deep in quantum mechanics. Dropping quantum mechanics on an engineer is a little bit rough. Just a little bit rough. Like, you can't just turn up to an engineer and say, "Oh, design me a large hadron collider, please." You can't just do that. It's not that simple. But yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, let's get some cracking, shall we? We'll actually get some writing done. So it's been linear algebra. Linear algebra is the subject of the exam. That's what got us distracted, isn't it? I got us distracted by my choice of what my characters were going to study. Poor fiends. Right. Linear algebra. She'd been wrestling with it since the start of the semester. She thought, not thought, she had begun to make some progress recently, but it didn't mean she hadn't been sacrificing sleep for the last week to wrap her head around it, on top of the rest of her studies. Let's see, you're joking, but that's their end goal. They want to make a larger Hadron Collider. And they're bringing this to aerospace engineers. Wait, okay, are they finally doing that thing where they're going to be using... they're like going to be making... No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They can't do that just yet. Like, they're not going to be using, like, in space, are they? Like, why are they getting aerospace engineers to be involved in a Large Hadron Collider experiment? It seems there's a bit of a disconnect here. Like, particle physics doesn't really have much to do with, you know, aerodynamics. Like, at all. They like operating in vacuums, for the most part. But yes, no, they definitely do want to build a larger Hadron Collider. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be very fun. That'll be very fun indeed. They just tried to source an entire country's worth of students because they need a gajillion specialists in the field they almost entirely stopped teaching. Fascinating. It's been a little bit since my university days, but I'm curious now. I'm very curious now. By all means, if you can share any details on it, chuck it in my Discord. I'll have a look at it later. That sounds just interesting. Right. Anyway, I am trying to write today. As much as I do love any opportunity to talk about maths and physics. More than happy to. But I do want to be a little bit productive today. Just a little bit productive today. So yes. Less science, more politics. Still, I like politics. I love keeping track of politics. Also, you have Discord? I have a Discord. I do. There it is. Thank you, TV. You beat me to it. Yep. Assuming the link works. Does the link work? It looks like the link works. I think the link works. I hope the link works. Hopefully it did. If it doesn't work, let me know. I'll post another one. Right. Let's see. Let's see. It worked. Fantastic. Good. Excellent. Let's see. The first... Yeah. And I feel a bit bad because we're moving immediately into technical mathsy aspects. A few exploratory questions to establish you can do basic vector and matrix operations. By question 3, the paper started delving into more arcane and obscure calculations. I freaking love math. I really need an excuse to do some more maths. Also, damn. What's damn? What's damn? Where's the damn? Is it the Discord? Something about the Discord, possibly. The memes I'm posting, perhaps. My meme game is on point, if I may say so myself. Into more arcane and obscure, maybe applications. Only around 20 minutes or so into the exam, she heard the person seated. Wait, did we establish that she was sitting right behind her? Oh, wait, no, we didn't. I meant to establish that she went to sit down right behind her. Crap. Right, okay, that's fine. I just write that here. In media res, dream sequence. Why are you piling all the questionable beginning decisions into one place? Listen. It's fine. You always start in media res. You want to do something strange and obscure. Okay, you don't always have to do in media res, but you do want there to be a bit of an interesting start to the story. I tend to find. You want to do something interesting to kind of make people go, oh, here's something interesting. Like, I'm not bored with the first like 2-3 paragraphs, like what's going on here kind of thing. Like, there will be something in those first paragraphs to keep people going. But yeah, starting with a kind of vague in media res, not dream sequence, but more flashbacks kind of thing. Like vague on detail, but with enough details to like track your attention, but not so much detail to get bogged down in those details. Yeah, it's just to kind of like, you know, draw you into the first chapter kind of thing. Questionable beginning decisions. Excuse me. That's fine. Right, yes. The line that I wanted to establish was they had this whole thing going on. The person who just burst into the room and has got to take the seat. They climbed leisurely without any real sense of urgency, as though the grades weren't on the line at all. Clementine tensed as they neared and walked right past where she was sitting on the aisle seat. But they said nothing. They did nothing. Just continued walking past as though there were no one there. Clementine allows her to feel some measure of relief and actually began to focus on the exam paper in front of her. Linear algebra. She'd been wrestling with it since the start of the semester. She thought she'd be able to make some progress recently, but didn't mean she hadn't been sacrificing sleep for the last week to wrap her head around it on top of the rest of her studies. That's where that little typo came from. That's good. Media res especially tends to just push the quit moment from 3 paragraphs into 2 pages in, as people understand that whatever they've been hooked with won't continue anytime soon. Well, you know what? At least my story is going to be relatively short, and it's also a short story, so I can immediately hook them a bit faster. Yeah, fair enough. I see you there. But yeah, if I can keep them around for 2 pages, I'm solid. It'll do its function. Like the real point where things start getting really interesting is this point just here, more or less. Also, what is up these typos? There we go. Right here, when the second person drops in, there's a couple of little suggestions of something going on earlier. But this is where the real hook is. This odd person taking things very casually when it comes to the exam, and the tension that Clementine feels as they pass by. That's the actual hook. If I can get you to go that far, you're golden. Right, she heard some shuffling behind her, and froze again when she realized the latecomer had settled into the seat directly behind her. There we go. Back to old title. I think the new one scares new viewers. Potentially so. Potentially so. Maths can be... Wait, can maths be artistic? You can apply art to you can apply mathematics to art. And art can definitely... No, and... I can't words today. What's going on? Mathematics can be applied to art, and mathematics can be aesthetically beautiful. But yeah, it's questionable whether art itself is mathematics. Algorithms can be used for fractals, exactly. Let's see. They would have had to move their exam papers from the next seat, clearly breaking the established pattern of not sitting directly behind her. Meanwhile, me reading all the scuffed character backstory tips despite having a ton of experience writing this stuff. Where's the character backstory tips? Where's that? Or you mean different stuff? Yeah. I mean, you know, the tips that you start on, or the place that you start with it, you got to start somewhere with every project. You gain some experience, make it easier to figure out what you want to focus on, but yeah, you've always got to start somewhere, and it's probably going to end up somewhere rough. As for, yeah, when it comes to like tips and advice, like even if you've been in the game for a long time, you can never not learn something new. Or like there's like one book that I've been referring back to for like 9 years now when it comes to writing. Specifically for like writing game narratives. But like even when it comes to my own stories and stuff like that, I usually keep coming back to it because it's got some good advice in it. Or at least what seems like good advice to me. I quite like it. Just need to throw together a bio for a TTRPG character, and I got a creative paralysis staring at the blank page. Oh, that's too relatable. That's too relatable. Like, what I do to start is literally just throw down some bullet points. Some rough bullet points of vaguely where I want to go with it, and then I start structuring it around that. Like, I don't even keep the bullet points, I just delete them again later. Or I just, like, you know, move to a new document, or make a copy of the document after the fact. That's how I usually get around it. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so that's what I needed to do by the end of the last stream. But we sorted it. There we go. Title, The Cause of All Suffering is Desire. Thank you, TV. Just somewhat hard to apply the experience from a different language. Ah, ooh, multilingual. Very interesting. But yeah, different languages do have different rules, different associations, different ways of thinking about and formatting things. Not that I know this out of personal experience. I am one of those English speakers who only really knows how to speak English and write English. So yeah, can't say from experience. Though yeah, I get there are differences. Did the person seated behind her begin to shuffle? Not shuffle, we used that word already. Where's shuffling? Yeah. Bumps at the desk behind her. There we go. Had to upend all my understanding of dialogue formatting when I switched. Wow. That's very fun. That sounds so much fun. I do not envy you. You know what? I'm actually fine with shuffling here. And then instead of shuffling here, go for fidgeting. Begin to fidget. Beginning to have trouble with a particular question. Or more likely, she thought bitterly. Giving up on passing the exam at all. Excellent. I feel that. What are you feeling, Nucleus? The dialogue formatting part or the giving up on the exam part? Honestly, both of them relatable. Okay, well actually not both of them. The exam passing part, that's the relatable part. Let's see. Being on the internet for forever, I feel more comfortable in English. Fair enough. Yeah. I get that. Although, again, native English speaker here, of course I feel more comfortable in English. I have heard it's a phenomenon, though. Right. Hearing a few half-hearted scratches. Behind her. Clementine, haired. You have half-hearted scratches behind her. Before a loud huff and a pencil, not a pen, clattering on the desk. Her own seat shook slightly as two boots came to rest on the table. Its back was attached to. There we go. I have it backward. I have 10 years of questionable writing experience in Russian, but nothing in English. Wow. Well, props to you for making the effort to switch, though. That's not nothing. Russian's a whole different beast. I've only heard slightly little bits about Russian. I think some of it might be from you, actually. The way that like dialogue ends up being like half as long. What was it? What was it? Was I talking to you? Was it you that I was speaking to when it was mentioned that like wording things in Russian is like so much more verbose than in English? Like, what was it? It was like V something. There was like was it VLAN or something in Russian? Ends up being a hell of a lot longer. Or was it VPN? Yeah, VPN. VPN in Russian is apparently like multiple words to explain the concept of. Or something. Am I tripping? I might be tripping. I'm either tripping or having deja vu. I'm not sure. Dear. Yeah, different writing system. The grammar's upside down and half of it's tonal. Wow. At least for Germanic/Romance languages. Hard to speak. Oh, wow. Wow, very interesting. Had some interesting conversations about languages today at work. We have very highbrow conversations at work. Very fascinating. VPN in Russian is VPN. We hijacked the word. Yeah, fair enough. It's a good strategy to do. The English use it all the time as well. We're quite proficient at it. Dear. Right. There we go. Let's see. Unlike English, we don't hijack the words with grammar still attached. Oh, I feel personally attacked. I feel personally attacked. My biggest problem with English as a German speaker is the lack of compound words. Yeah, they're not our strongest suit. There's so many words I want to write as one, but it would be wrong. Yeah, no, compound words is really not a... Well, it's not like we don't use compound words. It's just that when we do, we've got a whole song and dance before we go about actually making it a compound word. Like telephone, for example, started out as like 2 words, tele and phone, obviously. At some point, our compound words get hyphenated, so it's telephone, or like tomorrow is another good one. So it was originally 2 words, to and morrow. Then it's, becomes hyphenated, tomorrow, and then eventually it just becomes a compound word, tomorrow. We have a whole song and dance about the process, it seems. It's so weird. So many words I want to write as one. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I think you can generally get away, definitely in casual speech, you can definitely get away with hyphenating 2 words if they're related. Like 1984 is a fascinating evolution on the English language, actually. If you've read 1984, very interesting read, but it kind of like plays around with the concept of language in interesting ways in that way. Not necessarily accurate or scientific, just interesting. It uses a lot of compound words, which really stands out in English. It kind of like leans on them for like emphasis and stuff like that. It's fascinating. I've read it translated, so I don't know exactly what they did in OG Newspeak. Yeah, fair enough. At this point, we should all be familiar with the concept of like double speak. Where you say one thing while consciously thinking the complete opposite. Then there's also thought crime, which is, where you're just thinking something that would get you arrested, and you can be arrested for it. Oh, 1984, what a fascinating read. Or when you're like emphasizing something, the example was double plus good. So like, if you want to say something's really, really good, instead of having, really or very or exceptionally, they just double down on double plus good or plus good as a modifier. Yeah, it's not necessarily the most inventive linguistically. But yeah, no, it's quite interesting. It's an interesting way to think about it. Both Newspeak and Thought Crime fit right into Russian. Is there a term for it? I don't know a lot about the Russian experience, but I've heard little bits about the way that Russian kind of language and society has kind of evolved in very unique ways, which is always interesting to hear about. Or is there some like direct Russian equivalent that'd be interesting to hear? Let's see. Let's see. There's a high school to high school. Yep, there we go. There's a good one. High school to high school. Yeah, exactly. That's another good one. I mean, the translated version sounded organic to the language as it has some venues for compound words. Ah, right. That's good to hear. Very interesting. Yeah, I like, that's one of the things that I've always wondered, like, if you're multilingual and you've read the same book in different languages and then starting to like appreciate the difference between the two. Like, it's not really... Okay, I'm not fluent in Japanese by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm enough of a weeb at this point that I've started recognizing like some aspects of the language. So if I read manga, for example, that's been like really poorly translated and it's like very light on details, or it sounds like they're making a non sequitur, my mind can kind of fill in the blanks and start going, oh, right, they're saying this, but they would actually be saying it like this, which has these kind of connotations and overtones, which I'm guessing are there based on the context, kind of thing. Translating from Japanese is hard. Yeah, I've done like, Google Translate translations before. It's not easy. But yeah, you know, like that kind of aspect. So like if I'm reading something that's been, or even something that's been translated well in English, I start thinking to myself, okay, so what was the original Japanese nuance behind this kind of thing? I'm definitely not native in Japanese, and I don't pretend to be. Or like fluent in Japanese, rather. But yeah, they love interjections. Oh, good old interjections. Was that just like our whole fucking adnominal, adverbial sentences? Oh yeah. Like very, very short sentences, entirely lacking on context in the wording themselves, which you then have to read context into yourself. It's a fascinating language in that way. It's really interesting the way that contextual cues are so important. But it can lead to all kinds of problems with, as you say, translation. Very fun and interesting though. It almost makes you wonder why we're so fascinated with Japanese culture to begin with. If it's such a arcane process of localizing or understanding properly. Nah. It's a whole interesting thing. Let's see, where was I? I'm enjoying this. This is fun. Russian tends to mix unforgivably short and unbearably long sentences. Wow. Now imagine you doing that for classical Japanese, in which some of the texts are from Chinese canon, and the classical Japanese text is trying to emulate the Chinese. Wow. Leading to a turnaround in sentence structure, as Japanese is a subject-object participle? V, right. Yeah, no, I just couldn't parse it. Subject, object, vowel language, while Chinese is a subject, vowel, object language. Right, I got ya. German calls the verb predicat. Right, I get ya. Okay, that's cool, I see that. Yeah, no, very interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, what does it remind me of? Like reading like old style English works. So reading, I don't know, what would I even suggest? William Taft, was it Taft or Shaft? William Taft, I think. A Humble Proposal is fascinating because it's only like 300 years old. And yet it uses different characters than we use in modern English. It's also very like verbose and flowery as well, which is really interesting. Even comparing like Shakespeare or even Robert Burns to modern English is fascinating. Although Burns is technically more Scots, but yeah, still fascinating anyway. Sentence structure, we don't have that. Place whatever, wherever, and it has a chance to work. Interesting. The exception is the rule type of deal. Yeah, kind of. Except not really, because like there are rules, it's just that, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting seeing how language evolves over time, kind of thing. As far as the exception is the rule, There's like a common little rhyme for remembering how to spell English words. I before E except after C. So if you ever see an I and an E together, it's usually the rhyme goes, it's going to be I then E. But if there's a C first, it's going to be E then I. Except that's not entirely true. It turns out there are more counter examples than there are actual examples of the rules. Dear. And yes, English definitely does have Germanic roots. Absolutely does. Like it's a whole, well, Angles and Saxons are basically from Germany, effectively. Although it's kind of interesting as well, because after the Angles and the Saxons moved in, you have a lot of Norse influence as well, which leads to some very interesting English place names. You've got like very much distinction between Old English place names and like more kind of Nordic influenced ones. And then you've got the whole French movement in from like 1,000 odd years ago as well, which completely changes the English language too. We're an interesting little melting pot. Interesting little melting pot of a language. So many contradictions. So many contradictions. But it's quite cool. Like, I was having a conversation about this with someone at work today who studied linguistics, which I only just learned, and now they're like one of my favourite people, because now I can talk to them about all this random crap that I've been learning over the years. And yeah, no, we were talking about how there's a difference in like class between the English uses of like cow and beef. And also like you can still determine the French influence on the language in English or British English by the existence of a U in words. Like, what's it like? Example of a word that Americans drop the U, but American English usually drops a U if there's like curious, for example. Maneuver, definitely French influence, yeah. With unprocessed bits still floating around, this is true. Yeah, American tries to simplify English in some ways, or tried to simplify the language for spelling's sake, remove some of the superfluous rules. Whereas British English still maintains a lot of like traditional spellings. So like serious, I think serious has a U in British English, but I'm pretty sure it has just OS in American English. I may be wrong, but there are other examples like that. Maybe conscious as well? I'm not sure. Armor and honor, those are good ones. Yeah. American English just completely drops the U from armor and honor. Whereas in British English, we still have the U. And it's because we still have the U that it's easy to tell within the spelling of the word itself that it's a word derived from French. Color as well. Yes. Yeah. Very good one. Yeah, big difference between British English and American English. Which is really funny, because if I find myself writing to like an American audience, or like about America, or like with the voice of an American, I have to like manually edit my spelling to match American conventions. My best misspelling ever was mixing up morning and morning. Oh dear. Wait a minute, I've got an idea. Hold on. Where is it? What's the name of the poem? Dearest creature poem. Where's it gone? Dearest creature in creation. There we go. Okay, hold on. We're having poetry time. We're gonna do poetry time. Aluminium and aluminum. Yes, no. Americans are just wrong on this one. It's not aluminum, it's aluminium. The IUM is important. The IUM is how you know that it's how you know that it's an element. That's how you know. Fully agree, same in German, yeah. But right, okay, bear with, hold on. We're going on a poetry tangent here. Let me just switch us over to this. There we go. The Poem of English Pronunciation, which is a very interesting one. It plays around with the pronunciation rules and contradictions for spelling in the English language. It's amazing. I mentioned this at work a couple of weeks ago, and it was really fun. I saw this, I hated it. Dearest creature in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse, sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy, make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear in eye, your dress will tear, so shall I, oh hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and haired, dyes and diet, lord and word. Sword and sword, retain and Britain, mind the latter how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as plague and ague. But be careful how you speak, say break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven, oven, how and low, script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Hear me say, devoid of trickery, daughter, laughter, and terpsichore. I can only imagine that's terpsichore because it should rhyme with trickery. Typhoid, measles, topsails, isles, exiles, similes and reveils. Scholar, vicar, and cigar. Solar, mica, war, and far. One, anemone, Balmoral. Kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel. Gertrude, German, or Gertrude, German. Wind and mind. Scene, Melpomene, mankind. A Melpomene, I've never heard of Melpomene in my life. Billet does not rhyme with ballet, there's that French aspect. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mould like should and would. Viscous, viscount, load and broad, toward, forward, to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet. Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve. Friend and fiend, alive and live. Though as a German it would be hypocritical. Ivy, privy, famous, clamour, and enamour rhymes with hammer. River, rival, tomb, bomb, comb. Doll and roll and sum and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangour. Souls but foul, haunt but ant. Font, front, want, grand and grant. Shoes goes does, now first say finger, and then singer, ginger, linger. Real, zeal, mauve, gauze, gouge and gauge. Marriage, foliage, mirage and age. Query does not rhyme with very, nor does fury sound like bury. Dost, lost, post and doth, cloth, loth. Or loath. Loth. Job, knob, bosom, transom, oath. Oh, it would be loath, oath. Though differences seem little, we say actual, but victual. Actual, victual. Little victual. That sounds about right. Refer does not rhyme with defer. Thiffer does, and zephyr, heifer. Or heifer. Heifer? Defer, heifer? Heifer would rhyme. Mint, pint, senate and sedate. Dull, bull, and George ate late. Scenic, Arabic, Pacific. Science, conscience, scientific. Liberty, library, heave and heaven. Rachel, ache, moustache, 11. We say hallowed, but aloud. People, leopard, toad, but vowed. Mark the differences, moreover, between mover, cover, clover. Leeches, breeches, wise, precise. Chalice, but polis and lace. No, chalice but police and lace. Polis. I said polis wrong. I need to turn in my English card. Camel, constable, unstable, principal, disciple, label. Of all things Russian does wrong, at least our pronunciation is almost straightforward. Petal, panel, and canal. Wait, surprise, plate, promise, pal. Worm and storm, chaise, chaos, chair. Senator, spectator, mayor. Tour but hour, and sucker, for. Gas, alas, and Arkansas. That's not how you should pronounce that word, but here we go. Sea, idea, Korea, area. Sam, Maria, but malaria. Youth, south southern, cleanse and clean. Doctrine, turpentine, marine. Compare alien with Italian. Dandelion and battalion. Sally with allay, yea, ye. I, way and key. Say aver, but ever fever. Neither leisure, skein deceiver. Heron, granary, canary. Crevice and device and airy. Face but preface, not efface. Phlegm, phlegmatic, ass, glass, bass. And my Digimon is squeaking. Digimon, what are you doing? You pooped. Stop pooping. Let's see. Large but target, gin give verging. Ought, out, joust and scour, scourging. Ear but earn, and wear and tear. Do not rhyme with here but air. What about Worcester? I know. 7 is right, but so is even. Hyphen, ruffin, nephew Stephen. Monkey, donkey, Turk and jerk. Ask, grasp, wasp, and cork and work. Pronunciation, think of psyche. Is a paling stout and spiky? Won't it make you lose your wits, writing groats and saying grits? It's a dark abyss or tunnel, strewn with stones, stowed, solace, gunwale. Islington and Isle of Wight, housewife, verdict, and indict. Finally, at long last, which rhymes with enough? Though, through, plough, or dough, or cough. Hiccup has the sound of cup. My advice is give it up. Oh dear. I love seeing people trying to figure out the ch in German between ich and ach. Yeah. Ich is a bit further back and ach is a bit further forward, right? I think so. Being Scottish, I get a little bit of an advantage in this, if I'm correct. Don't let me pat myself on the back too much. Ich is further forward. Ach. Ich. Ach. Ah, yeah. Slightly forward, yeah. We have the difference built into Russian. I got it the wrong way around. I just can't parse where the sounds come from in my mouth. Is my excuse. Anyway, I'm supposed to be writing, not poetry. Wait, that's not right. That is not the right window, Mel. That's the right window. There we go. Right, thank you for the poetry recital time, folks. I do so enjoy it. Back to math. No, not back to math. Back to writing. Back to writing. Right, where was I? I hope I didn't have anything that I shouldn't have had on that tab. Certainly hope not. No, don't think I did. I think I'm fine. I got away with it. Excellent. I was thinking that was an interesting tangent. Hello, Valana. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing good. Yeah, no, we were talking about pronunciation, and I thought I'd, double down on showing how weird English pronunciation is. And spelling. It's more a spelling thing than a pronunciation thing, to be honest. The spelling is weird. So inconsistent. Well read. Thank you, Nucleos. I don't think I did an amazing job, but it was fun. Sid was wholly lost. Yeah, I think it's definitely a poem that works best if you've got the words in front of you and you can like if you've got the words in front of you and you can play with the pronunciation while you're doing it, because it really highlights just how inconsistent English pronunciation is. It's so weird. We've got so many odd rules. Like, every single word is basically its own rule. I apologize for my language. But yeah, hopefully you're doing good, said Velena. We are writing more today, and I've not written much. Actually, I've written this much, which is if I could see extract current selection. No, I don't want to do that. I wish there was a way to tell how many words I had written. I think it's like 300 words, something like 300 words. We need to do more. We've been here for over an hour. Right, it's fine. Let's make some more progress. Less poetry, Melanie. Actually, wait, but no, we'll do more. We'll do more poetry another time, but we're writing today. Let's see. As the exam wore on, Clementine began to make some good progress, though there were some sections she might have to abandon for the sake of time. The person seated behind her might have dozed off, considering how little noise they were making. She was just beginning to finish up on the last question. When the boots on the seat behind her not the seat, the table. Returned to the floor with weighty thumps. We've just finishing up on the last question. There we go. She resolved to ignore any more noise as she reviewed the questions she had left unanswered. Lamenting that she didn't really have enough time to scrape more than a few points from them. There we go. The only thing... Now it's happening. Now it's happening. This is it happening. It's happening now. Also, Nucleos, thank you for the hydrate. I do need it after my recital. I do need it. So the only thing that... could have warned her would have been a light creaking as the desk behind it flexed. No, behind her. Not flexed it. Hmm. The only thing that could have warned her would have been a light creaking as the desk behind her flexed. As the person behind leaned over. Person behind leaned over it. Only a few minutes left. Maybe let's move this up here. Oh. Yeah, only a few minutes left. The other thing that could have warned her would have been light creaking. She felt a familiar, no, an awfully familiar scrabbling at her. The middle of her back. Hold on, how did I write this before? Yeah, exactly the same words. Scrabbling in the middle of her back. And we need to have not releasing of tension. Scrabbling in the middle of her back. We call back to it. That's scrabbling at the middle of her back. And this is scrabbling in. Let's go for scrabbling at. We'll keep it consistent. We have been setting this up. This is the setup. Finally being paid off. Pat myself on the back for being so clever as to use such a basic literary technique. She felt an awful familiar scrabbling in the middle of her back. Oh, and another Digimon has pooped. It can't even be picked up by the microphone, which is very helpful. Hello, TV. Yes, big brain Mel. Big brain. Awfully familiar scrabbling in the middle of her back. Okay, the thing is, I kind of don't want it to be traumatic necessarily. I don't want it to be pleasant, but I don't want it to be unpleasant to the point of trauma. Like, unpleasant to the point of trauma is a bit further than what I want to do with this. So, response-wise, should be tension and a degree of anticipation, not necessarily horror. Because she's prepared for this. I have an awful suggestion. Say an awfully familiar scrabbling at the arch of her spine. I would need to refer back to this section though, because I already have the line of it scrabbling at the middle of the back. I put in brackets. Yeah, but no, I don't want it to be traumatic. Trauma is a bit further than what I want to do with this. There's a degree of, it's not that there's no trauma in this story. There is trauma in the story, but it's not debilitating trauma. It is workable trauma. It is light trauma. It is something that can be relatively easily worked through. This isn't something that's going to stick with someone. Brianna is not a villain in this story. Spain? You make a good argument. You make a good argument with Spain. I don't know. It feels a little... not in the good way. Yeah. It might be too harsh. Like, it definitely has a suggestion of invasiveness, which it definitely is and should have. But I don't want to... Yeah, I don't want to lean too much on that aspect. Like, if I really wanted it to be a traumatic experience, if I wanted to double down on it being a traumatic experience, I would consider it. But I want it to more or less be lighthearted. Like, not positive, but I don't want it to be beating you on the head with how awful, twisted, and negative it is, even though that is something that I want for the story. It's not what I want the attention to linger on. But I do appreciate the suggestion. I see what you're suggesting there. I'll consider it. I'll put it in brackets just to remind myself. Arch of her spine, question mark? And we'll come back to it. Like the tingling feeling of fingers feeling around. Scrabbling, kind of. I could say scrabbling of fingers, just make it very explicit that it's fingers. That kind of works. That can be a compromise. We'll come back to it. We're not on editing mode just yet. But it's good to have the notes. Absolutely. Thank you for the input, Nucleus. Scrabbling to me as a non-native speaker sounds like something very regional. It's got kind of connotations of like a rat in a corner doing something that it shouldn't. Rats are generally not seen as being a positive thing. I wouldn't say it's regional per se, but then if it were regional, then that's actually kind of a positive in this regard, because I do want to have it set vaguely Scotland, but it's not an explicitly Scottish story, but I would want it to be vaguely set in Scotland. So if it's regional, then regional is not inappropriate in this regard. But yeah, it's kind of got a suggestion of like rats scratching at walls kind of thing. Like a nasty little creature doing something that it shouldn't. Is like the suggestion behind scrabbling, which is basically accurate at this point. But I appreciate the discussion of word choice. I enjoy it. She tensed, realizing what was happening. But in spite of this invasion of her, what would it be an invasion of? Like, not pride, not honor, an invasion of her something. What am I after? Slithering can also give an ick. Yeah, slithering can give an ick, but slithering is not what we're going for here. What is wrong with my Digimon? You're tired. You need to train. Give him some training. Privacy works. Privacy does work. But but I want a stronger word than privacy. Personal space would work, but it's not hard enough. Not privacy, not personal space. Peace, no, peace is way too light. Way too light. Peace of mind, no. Too flowery. Invasion of her, like sanctity, almost. But maybe not in spite of, maybe... Revulsion is a nice word. So, despite the revulsion she felt. But despite the revulsion she felt, rather than she felt. She is filled with grim satisfaction. Here we go. There we go. Revulsion feels like an assault in my ears. It should be an assault in your ears. Are we just talking about how it sounds? I mean, I can roll with that. But yeah, it should be an assault, basically, because this effectively is, like, it effectively is a sexual assault that is taking place here. It is an assault of a sexual nature. So yeah, it should be an assault in your ears, ideally. Like, it's very much, what's the word? It's very much imposing on her peace of mind, as you say. It's not a positive thing that's happening. It's not an okay thing that's happening. But here I am exploring it, basically. Oh, how did I get here? How did I get here? People are just like, Mel, what's going on? Mel? Why have we gone on say so all of a sudden? Why are we discussing like light levels of sexual assaults? I say light levels as if it would ever be okay. Why are we discussing sexual assault, Mel? Why is this the subject matter of the day? Listen, I'll write, and we'll see where it takes us, okay? Digimon, behave yourselves. It's fine. It's completely fine. Right. Looking for something that wasn't there. Can't unhook something if you can't find the hooks, eh? After a few seconds of invasive, not fumbling. Fumbled's already been used. Scratching works. Yeah. I'll use the scratching at her spine now. I can use scratching at her spine now. We can go with that. I've used seconds of evasive scratching at her spine. The fingers retreated. I hope scratching at someone's spine doesn't have different connotations than I'm intending. Fingers retreated. Clementine. Gave herself a light shake to relieve the... We've already got reference to tension. Let's make that one paragraph. Clementine gave herself a light shake to relieve the situation. Not tension. There we go. Minute left. Shake off the discomfort. That's it. Yeah. I just didn't want to use the word shake twice in one sentence. Not the best form to use the same word multiple times in the one sentence. Pretty sure that's more or less standard. Unless it's repetition for effect, basically. She made a half-hearted effort to look over her answers one more time, scratching out a few more lines on a on an unfinished calculation. But her heart really wasn't in it. Here we go. Rid herself of discomfort. Yeah, that's not a bad one. And rid herself of the discomfort she was feeling. With only a few seconds left to go, the fingers returned. There we go. How is seconds to spare? In the exam. Seconds to spare, yeah. No. Seconds to spare suggests it was done just in time, whereas seconds left to go was a bit more neutral in terms of the connotations. Yeah. No, Nucleos, this is good. I enjoy the discussion and the debate. We both get to learn something. I get to see whether I could reword things in my story, and I also get to talk about the hidden nuances with sentence structure and word choice. So yeah, not at all. Second spare would be like if I were writing this from Brianna's point of view, and say she's like been planning something, or like she just failed, she was like, shit, I need to think of some way to get to her, and then she thinks, wait a minute, there's only a few seconds, what do I do? I know, panics last second and then starts doing something, and then that would be with only a few seconds to spare, she gets the idea and then she does something. Yeah, it's like a last chance to achieve something, yeah, with second to spare. Or like you've only just been able to achieve it within the time frame. So Clementine might, with seconds to spare, finish her last question. Whereas in this one, it's more like there's only a few seconds left to go, and this happens, kind of thing. It's not really... Yeah. It's a bit more neutral than with seconds to spare. So there's only a few seconds left to go. It's really interesting. I enjoy the discussion about it. The fingers returned instead of scrabbling. They roughly wrapped around... Pushed at her shirt, wrapped around the back of her bra, and maybe not wrapped, tightened around the back of her bra, and tugged hard at the elastic. There we go. The fingers are sentient, confirmed. Yes, exactly. The wording sounds like a latch-ditch effort by the fingers. With only a few seconds left to go, not really, it's a last-ditch effort by the fingers. It's like there's only a few seconds left to go and this happened kind of thing. Like, it suggests more like Clementine would have been safe because there was only a few seconds, but in spite of that, the fingers returned anyway. Also, yes, the suggestions that the fingers are sentient is an aspect of it. I like the suggestion. Because currently, the way that I've been writing this whole scene, Clementine's been refusing to think about any of the particulars of the person who's appeared. There's been like one reference to their appearance at all, and it's way back up here where the door opens and a slight figure pushes through. This is the only thing. It's like all she sees is it's a small person. It can only be this person. Don't think anything more. And then she just ignores everything. She does not look at this newcomer. She can only tell where they are and how they're acting. They're climbing leisurely. They're walking right past. They're saying nothing, doing nothing, just walking past. There's a note of them sitting right behind. There's scratching of a pen. There's the presence looming behind her. But she's not thinking about the person. She's just conscious of their presence. Then there's the note of scratching, huffing, pen clattering on the desk, and then boots So we're establishing a little bit she's got heavy shoes on, basically. I understand, but that's what the sentence reads like to me. Fair enough. It might just be a kind of impressional thing, yeah. We've got our own experience with language. Neither one of them's necessarily invalid, it's just that we've got different reasons for our word choice, or our preferred word choice. But yeah, she's making an effort to not think about the person at all. And then, yeah, she starts focusing on the fingers themselves, the fingers. Scrabbling of fingers. The fingers fumbled. Not the person fumbled, the fingers fumbled. The fingers retreated. Then the fingers returned. And what the fingers are doing. The yelp she let out as the elastic snapped against her skin back. Skin back. Or back against her skin. Snapped against her skin. Skin sounds more intimate and invasive, possibly. But then skin's very, like, soft sounding. I like the device. Always a good device to make things that are familiar more foreign. Yeah, so it's, what would it be? It's not anthropomorphism. It's like ascribing sentience to something that's inanimate. Not anthropomorphic, that's giving something human traits. What is the word? There's a word for it. Attributing lifelike qualities to an inanimate object is no. Right, anthropomorphism is a literary device that attributes human characteristics to non-human entities. Personification. Yeah, personification is the language of inanimate objects. Yeah. So in English, it'll be personification. We are personifying the fingers. We are giving... Wait, actually, are they inanimate? I don't know if I could really call them... I don't know, are we... Okay, maybe we're anthropomorphizing fingers. I don't know. I've got a friend who's an English teacher. I should ask him and see if he knows. It's somewhere between anthropomorphism and personification. One of the two. Human tendencies. No, both of them can attribute human tendencies to animals and inanimate objects. Personification. Anthropomorphism. The body parts. Depersonification of the person behind the fingers. Yeah. It's like reducing the person to the fingers. Because she doesn't want to think about the person as a person at this point. Dehumanizing. Yes! Kind of. I think you could argue it's more of a psychological thing than a literary thing. Or like a... Yeah, literary? Yeah. I don't know. There's definitely a literary technique going on here, if I may say. But she's definitely using psychological techniques to adjust the way that she's thinking about the situation. Casually breaking the gestalts here, yeah, as you do. As you do. Yep, she let out as the elastic snapped against her. Skin feels too soft. We'll go for back. The back almost sounds like the snap itself snapped against her back. Harsh. Is self possible? No. The elastic wouldn't snap back against herself. If she were doing it to herself, like if she was like stretching the elastic and then letting it go so that it snapped back onto her skin, then it would snap back against herself. But I wouldn't use it for someone else doing something to her. Snapped against her back. Must have gained the attention of everyone in the hall. Skin smarting. Face burning with embarrassment. She ducked down and stared blindly. I think we used that earlier on. Stared blindly at her filled exam paper. The person behind her leaned back in what must be some form of satisfaction. As the bell. Not the bell, there wouldn't be a bell. There we go. Was only half serious with that one. Skin of her back, more details, more intimate. At this point, we're not going for tender. How would the culprit sound? Ooh. Culprit could work. But the thing is, culprit has connotations of blame, it has connotations of wrongdoing, it has connotations of, in this case, Clementine being a victim. And due to the complicated nature of the relationship between the two, at this point, Clementine doesn't necessarily see herself as a victim. And this is also a common phenomenon in abusive and violent relationships, where someone who's in one of these situations is a victim, but they don't see themselves as a victim. They might see it as being for their own sake, or they might feel like they deserve it, and this is one of those complicated situations for Clementine. Gives a bit of a cheeky vibe to me. Kind of cheeky, but it's got a bit more connotation behind it than I'm really inclined to give it. I might be leaning a bit too much on person as like a non-specific way of referring to Brianna in this case. So I might need to change that during editing, but it just reinforces, I think, how Clementine just does not want to think about Brianna as an individual in this situation, kind of thing. I appreciate it though. Let's see. We are coming up on 8 o'clock, which is when I was planning on stopping. We might go for another little half hour, because we've gone about an hour of solid writing, I would say. And we've gotten about 2/3 of the way through. So like another half hour's worth of writing should get us to the 2000 mark, which is a bit shorter than I was intending for the first chapter to be. But it's workable. Like, I'm okay with the first chapter being a bit shorter. That's not a problem. Okay, so next. End of the exam. The lecturer. Yeah, this won't be like a major formal exam. This was just more of a you know, like part of course credit exam, so it wouldn't be the kind of circumstance where the lecturer would like retrieve the exam papers themselves. They would just say, yeah, hand them in as you leave. So yeah. How does the transgressor sound? Definitely too formal. It's somewhat active. Yeah, it's somewhat more accurate. But again, transgressor does have suggestions of there being a party at fault. And with this being broadly from Clementine's point of view, that's not really what I want to go for. It's accurate though, won't deny. Okay. Let's see. I think the way to go is some wordy structure around the cause. I think that's a little bit too deep there. A little bit too deep there. Like, I kind of like the reinforcement of the person rather than specifically referring to Brianna, because what's going to happen like immediately after this scene with the exam and the end of the exam is Brianna's basically going to pull Clementine to one side, and then Brianna's going to be literally face to face with her for the first time in several months, and she's going to have to very quickly reconcile the understanding that this is a person that has been doing this to her. The hands retract with some kind of satisfaction. No. The hands retracting would suggest that the hands were still in contact with her after the snap. The snap. What is this? Is this Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? No. I would suggest that they were still in contact, whereas like it's a very quick motion kind of thing. Like if you've got an elastic band, you like pull it back, snap, and then your hand and the band have gone completely separate directions already. There's no need for the hand to retract any further, I would say. So yeah, but leaned back might be maybe a little bit too descriptive considering the limited point of view that Clementine has. Change that to Clementine. Her exam doesn't feel so good after the snap, this is true. Hmm. Let's see. Hands, keeping with the objectification of the hands. No. The hands only have consequence for, like, the fingers themselves only have consequence for as long as they are in direct contact with Clementine. As soon as the hands are not in contact, the hands are not the concern. They are not an entity at that point. It is returning to the person behind. I might need to readjust this a little bit. Set her feet, not her. Set their boots back up on the table in what must be some form of satisfaction as the lecturer's alarm signaled the end of the exam. Lovely, I can go with that. Hands have consequences. Did I say hands have consequence? Apparently that's one of the phrases of all time. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, the hands are only relevant while they're in contact with Clementine. The fingers are only the fingers when they're in contact with Clementine. They may make a return this very chapter, actually. I think I might have them make a return this chapter. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to slightly steamy places. Did I say steamy? It's not really that steamy. We're going to slightly balmy places. Balmy places for the rest of this chapter, or we will be when we get there. That'll certainly pad out the writing time. We are at 1,700 words. You know what? This might go on to 3,000 words now I think about it. We may need to pick this up again at the weekend. That'll be fun. So, yeah, send a glance in Clementine's direction. Do we want to say weaving through? Because earlier on we were saying, yeah, she was threading through the groups of students walking on the way to their own classes. So maybe let's use threading again. Threading past... clusters of her classmates. As she made her way to the front. There we go. Honestly, now that I see what you do, the biggest weakness in my prose can be that I describe everything strictly straightforward. That's very relatable, actually. I don't know, like, definitely when I'm being artistic, I like to be very, very precise with what I do. Like, I was doing a piece of like a very reflective kettle, for example, when I was in high school. It was just wax crayon, but I went for like incredibly vivid colors for the reflection rather than being slightly muted. And it ended up in a rather interesting piece. My teacher seemed rather taken with it, even though I was... I thought it was too vivid, but not necessarily a bad thing. It was more my limitation in being unable to use collections of tones together to give a suggestion of muted tones, rather than just using the raw tone itself. Like, in my mind, I remember my process. It was like, in my mind, this part of the reflection is red, therefore I must use a red color. And I only had like 2 red colors to choose from, so I went for one of them. It was a very reductive way of looking at it. Those of you who remember my experiments with pixel art, maybe 2 years ago, will know this very well. Does anyone remember my what was it? My 3-bit color series? Yeah, I used 3-bit color to make pixel art of all of the Amberglow members when I was a member. When Amberglow was a thing. Damn. Yeah, that was news. So yeah, it was black, white, red, green, blue, magenta, cyan, and yellow were the only colors that I could use. That was fascinating. Can I show a picture? Actually, can I maybe show a picture? Is there a way I can show a picture? It'd be nice to show a picture. Where's my pixel art? You're gonna scream if I show it to you, though. Where is my pixel art? There we go, AG pixel art, lovely. 8 color. Wait, is it 8 color or that's not 8 color? That's 8-bit color. There we go. Oh my god, they're hideous. They are absolutely hideous. It's incredible. I love it. Right, where's the properties? Oh, you know what? It's fine. I know where it is now anyway. Copy the path. Add. Where's picture? Image. That'll do. New image. That's fine. Image file. Browse. Here we go. There we go. Right. Who has cursed memories of this? Does anyone have cursed memories of this? Someone will have cursed memories of this. Terry Davis and me Templo said, an idiot admires complexity. A genius admires simplicity. A physicist tries to make it simple. For an idiot, anything the more complicated it is, the more he will admire it. If you make something so cluster-fecked, he can't understand it, he's going to think you're a god because you made it so complicated nobody can understand it. That's how they write journals and academics. They try to make it so complicated people think you're a genius. The same thing literally happens at my work. And then I have to parse it and make it make sense to normal people. But yes, no, this was my project. This was a little project I did. This is how I started figuring out how to do pixel art good. I literally just limited myself to 8 colors in total. And I made these. And they're not good. They're not good, but they're a good starting spot. We can say that much for sure. I love doing it. So yeah, there's a truth in the fact that simplicity is a virtue in non-academic writing as well. This is true. This is true. It's good. Like, the thing is, like, information should be understood and appreciated by everyone. That's something that I believe in. Everyone should be able to appreciate the wonderful knowledge that we have came by over the years. And the more people who are able to do so, even if just at a surface level, without diving into the mathematics or mechanics behind it, the better. So yeah. This is my little toe dipping into pixel art. Let's see. But yeah, very straightforward is the thing. It was very straightforward. So I can kind of relate to it in that sense, Triangle. When it comes to my writing, I don't know. the problem is I don't pretend to be a good enough teacher. I don't pretend to be a good enough teacher to be able to tell people how I write. I like metaphor. I like abstraction. I like talking about things in roundabout ways. One piece of advice that I heard was you want to try and do 3 things with every scene that you're doing. You want to talk about the actions that are physically taking place during the scene. You want to explore the characters who are in the scenes and their motivations and their interests, their characterization, how they personally relate to it, the conflicts that are in the characters. Like, you want to really explore the characters with every scene. And also, so yeah, you've got the plot aspect, you've got the character aspect, and then there's also an opportunity for you to explore the themes of what it is you're talking about. Like, why is this scene worth including in the final version of your story? What does this scene add to the wider understanding of what you're trying to say with your writing? You don't have to necessarily, have every single scene be tied into the grander theme of the story. Like, you certainly can do that, but it becomes like very stripped down. It becomes very streamlined at that point. And it might be that your story needs some quieter moments for pacing purposes. But even in those scenes, I like, even in a scene where things are like relatively slow or chilled out, even domestic scenes, I do like taking my time and exploring what the characters are doing in that moment and how it kind of ties back to what the story is about. If not a main theme, then like a secondary theme. I agree with all that, but I'm also questioning that having read Stephen King. I have read a little bit of Stephen King. I've read I've read like the first 3 or 4 Dark Tower books, but I'm not the biggest Stephen King reader, unfortunately. So I can't really comment on that. I know that he's a very interesting writer, but yeah, I haven't got around to reading him myself, so I can't really say. But yeah, no, just because I follow these rules, or this is like the ideal for my own writing, doesn't mean I couldn't still find value in completely subverting those values. Like, I couldn't find value in doing like the complete opposite. Just because it works for me and the kind of stories that I like to tell doesn't mean that it won't work for other people. Writing, at the end of the day, writing's like a really personal thing. Or for me it is, certainly. Which is why, when I've written in the past, I haven't actually shared what's been going on the screen as I've been doing it. This is my first time ever doing that. Literally, my first time ever. So yeah, for me, writing is personal. When I write for myself, because I want to say or explore or just have fun writing, but it's always for myself. I'm not concerned about any audience outside of me. So it's very personal for me. I don't know, about being very, very straightforward. I think you can definitely write in a straightforward way that is also very interesting. If you notice that you've got, at times it feels like a lot of yapping. But when I talked with him and George Martin, King said that he writes 6 pages a day. Wow. Yeah, he takes his time. It's not like he's just writing the yapping for the yapping's sake. He's exploring stuff in the yapping. Also, a page count doesn't necessarily correlate with progress towards the understanding of the completed work in the author's mind. Which is interesting as well. But yeah, no, if another trick when it comes to being artistic. Yap-sploring, yes. I'm good at that myself. But like another thing, like if you notice that you've got a particular tendency when you're writing, like it's Sun Tzu. basically. Know yourself is rule number 1, basically. I took 2 years to write a story, and by the end I had to rewrite the beginning as my style had evolved so much. Exactly. I was just about to comment on, not exactly that, but something related to it, Valana. Like, the important thing is to know yourself. If you know yourself, if you know what your strengths are, you know what your style is, you know what you're interested in, then even if you have a particular style or a particular way of going about your process, you can play to the strengths of that style. So if your style was very direct, you could write it from the point of view of a character who thinks about things very direct. Or you could talk about subjects that are very hard to follow, but because you're writing them in a very direct way, you could get like the specifics of it down. Or conversely, you could write about something very simple, but go into a lot of detail on it. Like, explore how deep you can go with the direct writing. Just a couple suggestions. I don't pretend to be a good enough... I couldn't pretend to be a good enough writer to start teaching people how to do. These are just things that I'm suggesting off the cuff, basically. Valana, I would love to read whatever you've read. Would love to read it. But yeah, no, this is another thing as well. Another piece of advice when it comes to writing, which is something that I tried to channel last year for my visual novel project last year, which was, it doesn't matter what you're actually writing as long as you write. As soon as you've actually finished the first draft of your story, you reread what you wrote, and then you edit it to kind of fit to become the story that you have written in the end. Like, you'll have ideas, things will change, you'll get new plans, characters will change, and then you have to go back through it and make some edits to let everything kind of converge upon the story that you have written, kind of thing. Depends on how much of a planner or a pantser you are when it comes to writing. Mostly fanfic. Valana, send me your fanfiction.net account. Some original, do you want me to share? Yes! Yes! I could do with some light reading. Well, I mean, it'll depend a little bit on what you've written about. I'm slightly picky when it comes to my fanfiction. If I'm familiar with the series, I'll almost certainly have a look at it. It is Valana. Okay, I will have a hunt. I will see if I can track you down. And some original stuff. Ooh, original stuff sounds good as well. Original stuff. Inuyasha? Oh, I'm not familiar with Inuyasha. That's a shame. That's a shame. Aww. I'm not old school enough. Actually, should I say old school? Old school should sound... Oh, that's even that old school. I don't know. I had senpai in my anime society at uni who liked Inuyasha. I can't really say much. They were only like a year older than me. For shame, Mel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Triangle is hardcore like a Neutron Scar core plotter. Oh wow. I'll send you the links to original stuff. Sounds good, Valana. Thank you. I will read in penance. Hardcore plotter for Triangle. How would I even suggest? But I'm getting distracted talking about the craft of writing. You okay with spicy? Yes. Yes. Have you seen my likes on Twitter? Clearly not. Okay, I don't like exclusively spicy things on Twitter. I don't mind a bit of spice. Spice is fun. I mean, oh, what is it? Like two of my favorite stories are actually fanfics, which are, one is like a continuation of the saga of Tanya the Evil, although I think it diverges shortly after where the anime ends off, which is interesting. I need to get around to reading the actual light novels because that's a fun series. It's very cool. But yeah, it turns into What does it turn into? Yeah, it weirdly turns into oh shit, what's it called? Anastasia. Yeah, the Legend of Anastasia, the lost Russian princess. It's well worth a read. War crime lolly fanfic, you have my attention. Yeah, it's called, oh shit, what's it called? Shit, what's it called? It's on Archive of Our Own. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue and I don't remember what it's called. Shit, let me find it. Tanya the Evil Fanfic 803. I'll be able to find it through here, surely. Oh god, it's so good. No, it's not a crossover with Game of Thrones. It's not. No. We're going off on a fanfiction tangent here. This is great. Not you. Sudden overdose, yeah. Well, it was on the tip of my tongue. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. I forget what the person was called. I forget who the author was. It's freaking fantastic. You know what? I can tell how long it is by the intro. The intro is rather long, so I'll be able to tell from that. Probably. Actually, why am I not sorting? Wait, can I even sort? Yes, I can sort and filter. Fantastic. Sort by word count. This is what I do when it's word count. Like when I'm looking for a story. If I decide, you know what? There it is. I found it. You know what? I'm gonna post the link. It is freaking fantastic. We have a funny saying about any sort of tangents. Yeah, I take them. Here we go. It's called Amor Enum Vult, or otherwise Love Wills It. It is absolutely fantastic. Could not recommend it any higher. If you enjoyed Yojo Senki, if you want to see some... it's got some like really charming, lovely, sexy romance. It's very nice. Naturally, it's a Visha Tanya story. It's got some lovely romance. It does flashbacks to things that's happened like since the end of the war, because in this universe they wrap up the war. And then it turns into geopolitics. And it's incredible. I could not recommend it any higher. It's amazing. So yeah, this is one of my two favorite fanfics that I'm currently reading. It's really good. Would recommend. Has a couple of XPs from other series as well, including Hellsing and Fullmetal Alchemist, among others. You know, they need more characters to fill out the cast sometimes, and it's nice to have some familiar faces. The other story is To the Stars. I remember the name of that one. Guess what? Russia blocked the site, or the site blocked the Russians. Oh, that sounds about right. Can I suggest a VPN? I would kind of recommend it. No, I would recommend getting your hands on the story if you can get it. If you've got any way to get to Archive of Our Own, I couldn't recommend it any higher. Amor Enum Vult is so good. Let's see, To the Stars, Madoka. Yeah, it's a Madoka fanfic. I believe it's by you. Looks like it was by you. No. Where the hell are you? There we are. To the Stars by Hieronym, which is a very fun name. There we go. I have one, of course. Just funny to see every time to see no response from a random place in the internet. Sounds about right. Here we go. This one should be To the Stars. This is a Madoka fanfic, which is set something like 300 years in the future. It's set, I believe it's set post main series, so pre-Rebellion. And then it kind of like extrapolates the story from there, unless I'm very much mistaken. It follows a group of new magical girls, but it also does one of my favorite things. It has an ongoing story and mystery going on about the original team, like the original girls from Mitakihara, and it even has reference to a couple of the spin-off series as well. Oriko, for example, has quite a looming role in the lore, actually. It goes on to describe how society advances over time. There's a spacefaring civilization, then there's an alien war, and then the magical girls reveal themselves to society as a whole to save humanity. And then there's a kind of like Jedi Republic kind of relationship between the magical girls and the civilian government. And it's just absolutely fascinating. It's an amazing exploration of sci-fi. I really enjoy it. Could not recommend it any higher. It's long, it's verbose. The girlfriend of the main character has gravity powers, so I'm all over it. It's good. It's good. Would recommend. Anyway, yeah, no, these are some of my favorite fanfics that I'm reading right now. So definitely do check them out. Also, why is this image still on the screen? Go away. I don't need you anymore. I was just talking about my art and how direct I can be. How did we get to talking about my fanfiction? How did we get to talking about fanfiction? Wait, no, it's fine. I can blame Volana for this. Yeah, actually, if we're talking spicy, I think Amorinum Vault is definitely spicy. Like the first cluster of chapters is kind of like the will they won't they getting together. It's very sweet. I love the first couple of chapters of Amorinum Vault. But yeah, it does have some spicy chapters as well. They are fun. To the Stars has less overt spiciness, but spiciness is definitely there. It's definitely there. Like, it's not shied away from, so to speak. But yeah, no, these are good. I, for memes, opened my formerly ongoing project. Damn, I did not care for one-line character descriptions. Oh, one-line character descriptions. Did you just go for like full paragraphs to describe every character? I know that pain. I know that pain. I'm still in my rebellion phase from that, where I don't like dump my character descriptions in one paragraph like the first time you see a character. Like, reading through this, like, where do I actually describe any details of characters? I say that, like, okay, Clementine is looking at someone with blue eyes. They've been crying. They've got blonde hair. Narrow lips. You know, there's short ponytail kind of thing. Like, they're scattered through, but it's not like a big paragraph describing what someone looks like. Like, we barely know what Clementine looks like. We just know that she's, yeah, not very confident with herself, kind of thing. Yeah, reinforcement with the blue eyes here. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, but the reason I'm doing it is mostly because I'm just like, I do not want to write one paragraph describing my characters. Let's spread things out a little bit more. If I have to do a character profile, I'll do a character profile. But yeah, I have written a lot less than I expected I would today. I thought I would write like 1,000 words. It's from the outline stuff. One character just described as a girl with memories of a girl fighting a copy of a girl. Thanks, past me. What on earth do I do with that? I assume this was written in Russian, perhaps? It may be written in Russian. If it was written in Russian, yeah, potentially. But is it like a copy of the same girl, as in the girl's fighting a copy of herself? Oh, in English. Ooh. Ooh, so it's not it's not the girl fighting a copy of herself, it's the girl fighting a copy of another girl. In which case my question is, who is the other girl? Why are they fighting a copy? Why is there a copy? Curious. Very curious indeed. But yeah, no, I've written a lot less than I expected. And I do kind of need to drop off. I do kind of need to drop the stream fairly soon because I do want to have a shower this evening and I don't want to go to bed with wet hair, which is hell. So we'll probably wrap up fairly soon, but I'll see if I can get at the very least to the Cabedon. There's a Cabedon. Wait, is Cabedon old hat now? Is a Cabedon old hat now? Maybe it's a thing of copy like in Soma. Also, friendly warning for anyone who does want to check out my 2 fanfiction recommendations. Both of them take an eternity to upload. Like, I haven't seen any updates for... I've seen exactly 2 updates for To the Stars in like the last like 6 months at best. Armor Enum Vault is not quite as bad, but it's really slowed down lately. So yeah, if you're the type that likes to binge a whole story and like not wait for updates, they might not be the stories for you. But if you're the patient type, and if you want to read some incredible fiction, like honestly, incredible stuff, I could not recommend them any more highly. Like, there's a kind of a natural break point in Armor Enum Vault where you can just say, okay, this is the end of Arc 1, let's just not read anything more from here until the rest of it's complete. It's a good break point there. I believe To the Stars has 3 major chapters, like arcs so far, and they're clearly delineated. So you could read Arc 1 and Arc 2, and then like wait for Arc 3 to finish, although it's only a couple of chapters deep. So yeah, we can see. Where it's a copy, has some answers deeper within the outlines, but the surface level is this line. Where it's a copy, like a file copy, now you have 2 entities opening up the question. Would carbon copies of a mind develop in parallel, or would they diverge still in copies? Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting. Wordlessly handing her paper to the lecturer, who... Oh, wait. Oh, dear. Have I gone from present tense? Yeah, I've gone from present tense to past tense. Yeah, we've gone from threading, thanks him, tries, yeah. Then suddenly we go to the lecturer said. Lecturer was about to examine. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, I've changed tense. She tries to flatten her hair. To she was, yeah. Yeah, like mid-paragraph. We've just gone from present tense to past tense. Oh, that's so annoying. I made a note to myself that we're gonna do 3rd person, present tense, limited omniscience. I had a plan and I ruined it. Runaway tense, indeed. I default to past, so I never even tried to escape it. That's fair. Yeah, if I defaulted to past tense, it would probably be better. I don't know. You know what? We'll stick with past just now. It's not worth it. Haltingly stood up. Wordlessly handing her paper to the lecturer, who looked at her with a mild amount of concern. She avoided. Also, did one of my Digimon scream at me like 10 minutes ago? Yep, one of my Digimon just pooped. Excellent. Stop doing that. Stop it. Bloody Digimon. Yeah, I for some reason now have 2 Digimon toys. I've got 2 of those little Digimon toys that you see in like geeky shops. And I've just decided, okay, yeah, I now have a hobby looking after 2 Digimons. It's not so bad though. When they get older, like after like the first 2 days, they stop going to the toilet every like 3 seconds, which is great. Also, they still get older if you leave them running while they're asleep, and they don't poop while they're asleep. It's perfect. All you have to do, switch the game on right before you go to bed. Make sure that they're the right level or whatever, so that they evolve the way that you want, and then you go to sleep. And then as soon as you wake up, you can just turn off the game again until you next go to sleep. All of your game time can be sleep time, and they never poop, theoretically. It works. Except no, I'm going for the 16-hour strategy. When I'm at work, they go to sleep. When I'm not at work, they are running. It's not too bad, actually. It's actually really fun. It reminds me of when I was little, playing with those little Digivice toys. They were really cute. They were so fun. I loved those. Let's see. Who looked at me without concern? She avoided his gauge before joining the back of the throng in front, making their way out of the doors. And in my mind, I'm just being cast back to a different lecture room. The lecture room I was originally thinking about was the maths lecture hall that I had in my first couple of years at uni. And now that they're leaving, my mental images of the lecture hall in the physics department of my university. Oh dear, it's amazing. I can still smell the dust in those old seats. Jeez. I need an excuse to go back. Maybe I'll have a little look and see if there's any lectures on at the campus, and maybe make a little trip over there. That'd be nice. The image I had in my head was also from my math lecture hall. Oh, good. I should be conjuring these images. I'm glad they're compatible and it's not just my own head and not being compatible with anyone else. I'm speaking very generally, of course. But yeah. Now, how do I want to handle the confrontation? How do I want to handle the confrontation? I'm mentally setting up the room, or the building that they're in. I've already set it so that, they're still in the maths building. So it's like that. You know what? I can still roll with this. I can just pretend that some other rooms are in a different place. That's okay, right? That's okay. I can just pretend that there are other rooms on the ground floor. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Clementine avoided the rush of people. We'll remove this line about the lunch here, and we'll drop it in here. So the rush of people heading for a well-deserved lunch. She's a bit of a loner, poor girl. For a well-deserved lunch by ducking into the I always feel weird about calling it the bathroom when it's a toilet. Toilet. Ducking into the toilet, though, suggests she'd be ducking into the bowl, which she's not doing. We don't use the word washroom. Bathroom is inaccurate, so I refuse to use it. We don't use the abbreviation WC. Which is part of an appendix to a natural history museum, which was interesting. Ooh, yes. My alma mater actually has a good couple of museums like in and around the campus. It's really good. The Outhouse, no. The Thomas Crapper, which actually the name of the person who invented the flushing toilet, Thomas Crapper. Something. I can't read kanji, unfortunately. That's Klo. Can't do the German. You know what? Heading to the toilet. Or detouring. Adrenaline. Water views of grime and slight perspiration from the stress of adrenaline. Took a deep breath and allowed her tense muscles to relax a little. Lovely, there we go. I can guess why I invented it. Yep, just appropriate names, what can we say? Wouldn't sweat sound less formal? Maybe. Perspiration feels so academic sterile. Yeah, potentially. It might just be me, but it feels somewhat appropriate. The slight sweat from stress and adrenaline. Take a deep breath and let your tense muscles to relax a little. Then you have to drop adrenaline too. No, I don't have to drop adrenaline. Adrenaline is good. I can keep adrenaline. Adrenaline's fine. I'm keeping adrenaline. It passes muster in my book. Don't want to use that expression, nothing to write home about. I seem to be enjoying using italics in this, which is very interesting. I don't often write in italics, but here we are. As a rather unclear nuclear man once said, "Not great, not terrible." Yes, that's it. A nuclear man. A nuclear man, not great, not terrible. I don't know, if a man were nuclear, I'd say he was both great and terrible. Dear. Unclear. Maybe a typo. Let's see. At the very least, some of our... Oh, shit! I just remembered. Oh, shit. Oh, I completely forgot. Oh, God. No, I definitely do have to have a shower tonight. I completely forgot. God. Oh, God. Double damn it. Oh, dear. Oh, shit. Oh, balls. Oh, dear. I just completely forgot something that I'd remembered, and then I forgot about, and then I forgot to remember it. Great. Yeah, no, sorry, I just remembered something that is happening tomorrow, probably. I need to actually address right now. Well, not right now, but like I need to do now so that I can figure out what's happening tomorrow. I don't need to go right now, it's fine. It's just I completely forgot that there was a thing that I had to do. Hold on, let me write it on the back of my hand. Where's my pen? There's my pen. Yeah, I completely forgot. Right, okay, it's on the back of my hand. I can't possibly miss it. It's fine. It's fine. Can. I was referring to HBO's Chernobyl series, so the man was in fact nuclear. I have not had the pleasure of watching Chernobyl, actually. I wish I had. It would have been very interesting. I think I was a bit distracted at the time. But yeah, no. I've heard it was pretty good. Some of our preparations have paid off properly. I don't want to do this. I want her to... We're again refocusing attention on the bra. Here. Do we do it with our eyes? Does our hand, like, briefly touch her chest? I don't know. Maybe like the shoulder strap. Yes, yes, I hear you. You're doing something. What are you doing? Oh, you're just complaining. What are you complaining about? You're hungry and bored. Fine. Eat. There. You're occupied, you're stimulated, good. Focusing on one's bruh. Focusing on one's bruh is important. This is important. Check the clips in the front. No need to check the clips in the front. If the clips in the front weren't working properly, she would know about it. At her collarbone. There we go. Collarbone's a nice one. So she's like, you know, just like touching at her collarbone kind of thing with the, well, maybe a little bit more over from the collarbone, but yeah, the collarbone roughly. Maybe at her collarbone, more like by her collarbone. That sounds about right. Some of the her preparations have played off properly. Okay. After drying herself off, not sifter, after drying herself off, she exited the bathroom bathroom. The now empty hallway. Also, here we go. More compound words. Though not a noun. It's like now empty, so it would be, I don't know, adverb. She exits into the now empty hallway. The remaining stragglers from the exam seemed to be chatting just beyond the outer doors. As she moved to leave herself, a hand roughly grabbed her arm and she was dragged, stumbling after a short figure with heavy footsteps. Dun dun dun! Here we go. We have a single shot word for that. Nice, yeah. It sounds like single word would be nice for a hallway that used to be full of people but is now empty. Or full of things but is now empty. In German there is Leergeeffekt. Swept empty to say a place is empty. Ah, Leergeeffekt. But I mean, I could just say an empty hallway. There'd be nothing saying that I couldn't use empty hallway. But it's like specifying that it used to be full of people but now is not. Kind of thing. I don't know. I'm getting too excited over basic word choice. She... She barely formed the thought to shout or do anything more than stumble onwards as she was dragged after a set of heavy footsteps. Come after the first lake. Where's lake? Lane. First lake? I don't think I used a lake. Unless I've reworded things since then, I might have done. Pushing through a door into the door of an empty lab room. Sorry about confusion. No, you're alright. Yeah, like a street is like it's swept empty would mean the expectation of the original state is being lively. Ah, right, okay, I parse you now. I can see what you're suggesting. So there was activity there that would have left a mess, theoretically, or could have left a mess, but has now left and the place is swept clean. So there were people there, there was activity, but now there's no sign of activity in that area. I get you now. That's actually really interesting. I like that. Lergeffect. That's interesting. You take lab room, I hear labyrinth. Interesting. Right, pushing through the door of an empty lab room. Clementine was wheeled around and slammed into the wall, the door being kicked closed behind them. There we go. Cabedon. We've got a wall, we've got the slam, we've got the cabe, and we've got the don. Cabedon. We got there at last. It only took me to 1923 words. Wheeled conjures wares for me. It shouldn't. Wheel definitely doesn't have... I suppose you could wheel a cart of wares. But in this, it's like she's being wheeled around like she's spinning. Like she's been kind of like dragged through, spun around, disoriented, slammed into the wall. I would say. Not sure if Cabedon includes slamming the target into the wall. Okay, not quite as violently as this, necessarily. But I would still say it's a Cabedon. But yeah, no. Considering it's nearly 9 o'clock, I've nearly been streaming for 3 hours. I think I will have to call the stream here. Because yeah, I need to have a shower tomorrow. A shower before tomorrow. It's actually rather important that I do. So, yeah. No. This is a potential concern. Yeah, shit. I'm kicking myself from yesterday, actually. Actually, it might be fine. It might be fine. I might be worrying about nothing. It's all right. It's fine. Let's not worry about it. So, anyway, massive thank you, everyone, for coming along today. I really do appreciate it. We've managed to get a little under 1,000 words, which is a bit annoying. But you know what? We've had a lot of chat as well. We've been talking about my fan fiction tastes. We've been talking about my art. We've been talking about a lot about word choice and sentence structure and the connotations of particular words and the fact that I do it for literally every single line that I write. Yeah, no, it's been really interesting. I've really enjoyed this. I've really taken to actually sharing my work as I produce it live. Hopefully people have found it interesting. I have. I certainly have. I've had fun with it. But yes, I think I do need to call the stream here. So, yeah, again, massive thank you, everyone, for coming along. It looks like I missed a new follow from yesterday by Call Me Light. I missed that somehow, so thank you, Call Me Light, for the follow. I don't expect you'll be here, but thank you nonetheless. But yes, I'm going to head off. I have several things that I need to do rather urgently. So I'm going to do those. I'm going to go to bed, get a good sleep, hopefully have a good day tomorrow. So yeah, until tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. Next stream is going to be on Thursday. We are going to be playing some more of the fantastic visual novel, Long Live the Queen. I died in the first run of it. Let's go a little bit quicker through it next time. We'll skip past any scenes that we've seen already and see if we can actually get Elodie to survive everything. That'd be really nice. Yeah, if you want to come see a hardcore, very hardcore, difficult visual novel, I'd recommend coming along for that. Beyond that, next stream, yeah, we're going to do some more writing on Saturday, and then we'll be finishing off my run of Fallout 1 on Sunday. So yeah. Until then, I have been Melanie. Thank you so much for coming along. I'll look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. So until then, take care. Be good to yourselves. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, this has been fun. What fun I have. Oh, my Digimon's screaming at me because it wants to sleep. Right, go to sleep. Silly Digimon, go to sleep. There we are. Leave me be until tomorrow morning. Thank you for the raid message, TV. Yeah, thank you, Nucleus and Triangle. I've enjoyed the chat. It's been very interesting hearing what you've got to say about the terrible English language. I've learned a lot and had some fun today. And TV Valana said everyone else has dropped by. Who do we have to raid? Who can we raid today? Let's raid... Let's raid Zephy. We'll raid Zephy. Did we raid Zephy last time? I feel like we raided Zephy last time I was writing as well. We probably did. There she is, Queen Zephy. She's playing some Supermarket Simulator, which I've seen several people playing lately. Me on writing streams, small head fox. TV, you're welcome to contribute. If you've got any thoughts, you're more than welcome. TV, you're always welcome to contribute. Never feel like you're not allowed to chat and chat. You're more than welcome to. This goes for everyone. There are no stupid questions or comments. Oh shit. Expect call by 1:30 p.m.